Hello my spannering chums, how is everyone today? Good. Now, chain maintenance, that sort of stuffy wuffy. I'm making a 3 video attempt, kind of. But today I just want to talk to you about chain cleaning. Now a lot of people will just get the chain, blather it in WD-40, wipe it all off, think, oh my chain's nice and clean now, put a little bit of chain lube on it and ride off into the sunset. Completely wrong. Bloody wrong. Never use this shit on chains. Ever. Never, ever. Now in every single one of these there is rubbers that go around here. So let me stick it on the side if I can. So every single one of these has rubbers in between the metal. It's to stop the metal from grinding against each other. You get X ring rubbers and O ring rubbers. You just get general rubbers. Now, I'll show you closely if I can. The rubbers, there and there, they don't like WD-40. They like oil. Oil's nice. But people do. People put WD-40 on, they clean the chain, and they think, oh, my chain looks lovely and clean, I'll stick some lube on, and that's the proper way to clean a chain. Well, it isn't. And I'll show you why. So what I've got 2 clear little bucket things. Chinese takeaway things. I'm going to put some chain lube in it. One of them's going to have WD-40. The other one is just going to have standard engine oil that you'll have in a car, in your bike, that sort of stuff. So, shake up your chain lube. I'll spray a bit in each container. About the same sort of amount in each container. And this is the best bit. So there's one, there's the other. They've both got chain lube here and here. So I'm just going to take a bit of WD-40. Now, WD-40 deletes, no, that's the wrong word. It thins out chain lube. It makes it into WD-40, which in turn is very thin, flies off your chain. I'll show you. Right, I'll put it this end. And all I'm going to do, I'll put WD-40, I'll let it roll into the chain lube. And there we have it. There is no more chain lube in there. It is just very ultra thin oil. That's it. That's the only thing left in that whole thing, is just really, really thin, shitty oil. Now, a little bit of oil. This is just standard 1540 motor oil. Just standard stuff. Here's a new one. The chain lube's here. I'm going to put some oil at the bottom here. And watch. The oil eats up the chain lube it mixes with it. So this is what you're ended up with. Now, you've sprayed WD-40 on your chain, you've wiped it all off, you think you've got all the WD-40 off your chain. You then put your chain lube on your chain, you ride off into the sunset. What do you think is going to happen to that? It's going to fling off before the first mile. That is just thin shit. It's going to drip off, get flung. So now you've done exactly the same, but you've done it with oil. It's a lot thicker, and oil is good for O-rings. Oil is good for X-rings. Oil is exactly what you need on a chain. Nice and thick. Water, oil. That's why I never ever clean my chain ever with WD-40. That's the difference. One's lovely and thick. It's maintained its viscosity. One is just like water. That's the WD-40. So that'll just fling off. I wouldn't even get to the bottom of the 10 foot. And if I cleaned my chain with WD-40 and then tried to do it, I wouldn't even get to the bottom of the 10 foot. And all the lubrication in this chain that I've spent money on, because these things aren't cheap. This isn't cheap. It will just fling off, and I'm left with a chain that has got no oil in the O-rings or anything. Absolutely shocking. Now this will take a lot longer to fling off. It will also lubricate inside the chain, lubricate the O-rings. It will do the job. It's pretty bloody easy. Instead of using WD-40 as you do, rub it with a toothbrush, I just use oil. It's a lot cheaper, and I'll tell you why. Because every time you do an oil change, you're always left with about that much in the bottom of your 5 litre tub. Always left with a tiny little bit. And they say it's for a top up, but modern engines don't use oil at all, not unless you've got a Triumph. So that little bit is free. That's what I use to clean the chain. Every time I do a service, I get the oil, put it in a tub, get the oil right in there. Really fucking load it up, you know what I mean? Really load it up. Wipe it all down. I ride it for about a mile, maybe 2, come back again. The back of the bike's blathered in oil. Clean all that up, really easy. Guess what I clean oil with? WD-40. Because it disintegrates oil. Anyway, that's why I don't use WD-40 on any of my chains. Because that, my dear, is water. That's got no anti-fling properties whatsoever. That's shit. Now that is lubrication. That's what you want. So don't use WD on your bloody chain.